Hey, what's up, nieces and nephews? Welcome back to the channel. You may recognize this collection of two-wheeled power sport motor vehicles. I'm over at Shade Tree Surgeon and Shay Lacey's house, picking up Shay Lacey actually. She and I are driving my Volkswagen Passat over to Orlando. What, you may ask, are two biker Harley Davidson daddies doing driving a Volkswagen Passat to Orlando? Well, I'll tell you, as soon as she's ready and I pick her up. Got some great things going on for the channel. I'm not going to try to keep it a secret.
All right, then, keep your secrets.
During this little intro here because you guys are going to see it well ahead of time anyway, way before this video comes out, especially if you're following me on my Instagram page. So we'll make her happen. This is it. This is why everybody should move to Florida here, so you can experience this. I-4. All right, well, we're even going to see the eyesore on I-4, but we're doing a car vlog today. The Volkswagen Grandpa Mobile, complete with car seat in the back and everything. Later on, we're going to fill up bottles with formula and have just a good old time. So we've made it. So where we're at is Seminole Harley Davidson in Sanford, which is Orlando-ish.
No, it's not Orlando. This is shut up, blockhead.
It's Orlando-ish. I actually I'm surprised to see how many Apexes they still have. You guys know, if I've talked about them before, the Apex is one of my favorite colors ever made. We're here picking up a motorcycle. My friend sent me that night train that you're going to see here in just a few minutes. The GM here that I've never met, Jim, is friends with my sales manager over at Burt's and said, yeah, he can drop the bike off here. I'm excited about it. We're going to ride it. I didn't bring a truck. We brought my car. She's driving my car back. She says if you break down, it needs to be closer to Tampa, but it's not going to break down.
I didn't bring my truck, so I can't load you up into the back if something happens.
Raw tools. But what could possibly go wrong? Nothing. Here she is. Here she is in all her glory. I don't know if he went mudding in this thing or what. Come on, Ross. You got to do better than that. Look at this. This is all the salt from all you northern people up there, all that corrosion. Yep, nothing could possibly go wrong on the way home with this bad boy right here. I'm in love with this bike. Isn't that cool?
Don't show my toes.
Were there toes in there?
I just walked by. Don't show my toes.
Okay.
Oh God, no free toes.
No free toes. If you want to see Shay's toes, you can email me directly. No, sign up to her Patreon where you got all the toes you can handle. Hell yeah, we're about to get on the road with this thing. I'm excited.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Boys, gassed up, complete. Boy, I think everybody and their mother wanted a Softail back in the 90s and early 2000s. It's like, I don't know what's more classic than the look of a Softail motorcycle. And then one happens to fall on my lap. One thing worse than Tampa traffic is definitely Orlando traffic. Oh boy. So let's talk a little bit about this motorcycle. We're going to take Backroads home. We're going to stop by my house. We would stop for lunch since we're out and about, but she's got some she's got to do over in the St. Pete area. God, I love this thing so far. I feel like such an early 2000s badass on this thing. Not that I'm not a badass as it is, because everybody knows that I am, but there's just a different feeling when you're riding a Softail with these apes on them. Pretty sure these are 16s, higher than anything that I've normally had on my bikes in the past. So you guys know the sentiment about how family isn't always blood, right? I really learned that feeling in the Marine Corps, and then I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in the past that I was in a motorcycle club for a long time back in like from 2006 actually to 2013 when I rolled up or quit, as they say. And a lot of those guys, as soon as I quit the club, me and another guy quit at the same time. As soon as we rolled up, they cut off all communication. But there are a couple of guys that I really stay in touch with and still call them brother to this day. So one of my brothers from that club out in Arizona moved back up to Michigan/Wisconsin and hasn't been riding much the last few years. So he's like, hey, I'm going to send this down to you, man. And yeah, I really appreciate that. The stars just happened to align where we were trying to figure out how to get it down here. You know, what was I going to pay for it? Yada, yada, yada. Just so happened that one of his close friends up there was going to be driving down here in his truck anyway. So he loaded this thing up on the back of his truck, drove it down here from Wisconsin. And my boss at work called over to the general manager at Seminole Harley Davidson and asked him if he'd be willing to help us get it off the truck and keep it here for a couple hours while I came over and picked it up. You're talking, I mean, what are the chances that stuff's going to align the way that it aligned with us today, right? Just absolutely perfect. Perfect. I've had no time in the saddle of Softail. And by no time, I don't mean zero. I've ridden them around town here and there. This is going to be, 100 miles or so back to the house. I don't know when the last time he rode this bike. He did tell me yesterday via text message that the fluids have less than 300 miles on them and that the battery is brand new. I did have to stop right now and put air in the tire immediately. It had 19 pounds of pressure in it. I'm sure that's from being up in the cold and coming back down here to the hot. I don't know how much life the tire has left in it. I know nothing about this motorcycle except it belonged to my good friend and somebody I do actually consider a brother. And now it's here in the great state of Florida. When I posted this motorcycle being loaded into the U-Haul trailer last week, some of you guys figured it out. I'm not going to say who, but we've got some plans for this bike. We're going to showcase this bike on the channel for a little while. It is not taking the place of my Road King. Absolutely not. The wife just got her Dyna. That's her bike. This is not taking the place of that. But we do have some plans for this motorcycle, and it's going to be content driven. I think a lot of you guys are going to get a kick out of it. I will say this bike screams late 2000s. It's a 2008 Harley Davidson Softail Night Train, which I don't know how popular they were at the time. I don't remember. But now, anytime I mention Night Train around birds, people are like, oh, do you have one? We've had 2 Night Trains since I've worked there, and they've gone so quickly we can't keep these in. I can appreciate what it is, but it's 2008. The forward controls, the firm, smooth leather. I believe it's a Lapera seat. It looks like a Lapera seat. The ridiculous ape hangers. This bike is definitely a throwback to that era when I was in the motorcycle club. This is exactly the kind of shit that we rode around on back then, 2007, 2008 time frame. Oh, I'm a grandpa here, but come on, grandpa, let's get moving, buddy. Also want to give a big shout out to Shay Lacey for coming along and helping me out with this. Nobody had to do this. Nobody had to come over here to Sanford, which is on the other side of Orlando, and help me get this motorcycle. But I put it out there, and she said, yeah, I'm totally down to come help. Josh has been sick the last couple of days. She's been wanting to get out and spend more time with friends that she hasn't been able to. So it just kind of worked out. We spent the last 3 hours together stuck in traffic in a car, able to really get to know a lot about each other as friends, that, things that would normally come up in conversation at the venues that we hang out or in the groups that we hang out in, because you can't really spend a whole lot of time with one person or 2 people when you're hanging out in big groups all the time. So now she's heading back. She's driving my car back, my grandpa mobile with the child seat and everything in the back for my grandson. We're going to swing by my house, drop the bike off. I'm going to take her back to the house. And she'll get to meet my dog. She's been asking to meet my dog for a long time. So, all right. So normally this is a very pretty lonely ride through here, but somehow we've managed to get behind everybody who does the exact speed limit. Not 1 mile per hour lower, not 1 mile per hour over. You guys know how I feel. I'm not trying to go 90, 100 mile an hour through here, but geez Louise. There's a meme I've been seeing around on the internet lately. Not even a meme, because it's true. If somebody is tailgating you, they're an asshole. If everybody is tailgating you, you're the asshole. I've got 2 cars left. 2 cars left to turn out of the way, or they have plenty of room I can go around, and then I'm free. I feel so constrained right now, and I hate it. It's like the shackles of law-abiding citizens wrap themselves around my wrist, and I can't do anything about it. Now, if Shay wasn't behind me, not Shay's fault. If Shay wasn't behind me in the car, I would have been long gone. But I kind of have to make sure that there's room for both of us before I start doing anything stupid. Because if we're going to do anything stupid together, I want to make sure there's plenty of room for it. Now, regardless of the traffic and my apparent severe lack of patience, which it's no secret, I've always had it. I'm not going to change my ways at this point. Look at this. Look at this. This is backcountry Florida, man. This is outside of Orlando. It's near a town called Leesburg. There's no ocean anywhere. There's some lakes back here somewhere. This is country Florida. When you're on the coast of Florida, you're actually in the north, just at a lower latitude. When you get 30 miles off the coast, in any direction, any coast, you're back in the south, baby, and that's exactly where we are, smack dab in the middle of the state. And once we get past all these clowns up here, baby, I'm telling you what, man, there'll just be another stack of clowns coming through. So far, I don't know how many miles. Actually, I can tell you, we've gone 39 miles in about an hour. So far, the bike's been great, man. It's been great. I'm trying to think of things that I'd like to do to it, for it, on it, and I really can't think of anything. But the bike feels great. I can't think of, like, what do you do to it? I mean, besides clean it up and make sure everything's maintained, what do you do to a bike like this? I mean, the handlebars already took away from the factory vibe, the original vibe, and of course you got the Vance and Hines short shots on here, which I love. But I feel like if I do too much to it, it'll take away some of the nostalgic value that a lot of people place on a motorcycle like this. Oh, thank God. We made it. I thought I was done for there. Well, not done for, but I thought I'd just gotten around all that and gonna have to put up with another trailer. No, the bike's been great. It feels great. I mean, it's a soft tail frame. I'm a big old boy. I've got zero ass. The seat is really skinny, so I'm not as comfortable as I would be on the Road King, but the Road King is king of the road for a reason, baby. Yeah, man. I'm already in love, but it's easy for me to do that.
I think coming to back highways, I had avoid tolls and avoid highways set on maps, and even though I don't have to stop as long, it's such a terrible route in the middle of the day. Lots of construction, lots of stopping in the middle of the highway so they can let people go. Anyway, you don't want to hear all that. So we did stop, not because I needed gas, just because I needed to let my ass and my back take a little break. We stopped in a little town called Trilacoochee. And I've tried it, and let me tell you what, baby, I'm a believer. We got a little bit over an hour left to go until we get to my house. I wanted to stop, take a little break on the back and the butt. Been on the road about 2 hours and gone about 65, 70 miles. We're gonna get over to the house, take her home, and yeah, we'll wrap that up.
Back on the road. What are the chances of us stopping at the Double D Food Mark in Trilacoochee? I might look like a grown-ass man, but I'm still a little boy. I'll still laugh at dirty jokes. Borderline dad jokes. Let's do it, boys. We got 42 miles left. About 50 minutes, it says. Oh, if I could have left 10 seconds sooner, we could have been in front of this guy. Oh, this bike feels great, man. This bike feels absolutely great. Not a speed demon by any stretch. Not a speed demon, But just fun. I mean, just
Turn left.
turn left. It's fucking roundabout. We'll figure it out. I'm hoping and praying I'm in the right spot. Boy, this is country as hell. This is what I'm talking about. Now I feel like I'm in the movie Easy Rider, minus the fuel tank full of drugs that you know of. At any moment, I expect a pickup truck full of rednecks to blast me off the back of this thing with a shotgun. The scenery, though. God, I can't gush enough about Florida. This is what I like. This is the kind of road. This is it, buddy. This is absolutely it. When you think about riding a backcountry road, I hope you're thinking about this. The ongoing saga of do you like curvy, hilly roads or not? You guys know my stance on it. You care less. But we've got this little hill right here. Yeah, what do you mean? It's Florida Mountain. Look at that. That's Mount Florida, 25 miles. I don't know this road, so let's play it a little bit safer, shall we? Yeah, let's go down a little bit more. I don't know this road, this motorcycle, or these tires. Look, see? Twisties, hills. What more do you want? An hour away from the beach. Florida's got it all, man. We are on our way to work Saturday. I didn't ride this motorcycle to work on Wednesday. I didn't record. I just wanted to ride it. It is, man, what a flashback. I know I mentioned it the other day when we rode it back to Orlando, but absolutely a flashback to the old days. I have not ridden the Road King since last weekend. I've either been on this thing or my wife's Dyna. I've only ridden this motorcycle this week, aside from some work that I did on the wife's bike, and I had to do a test ride on it. And I was going to ride the Road King today, but one of our techs I kind of made friends with the past week, and he agreed to look this thing over and kind of tell us some things, and hopefully he's not camera shy. I'm going to ask him if he minds being on camera so I can ask him some questions about the motorcycle. It is Saturday, so we're going to be pretty busy probably up in the sales floor. He may be busy back in service. You know how Saturdays are. Everybody wants to get things done on Saturday because a lot of the workforce is still off on the weekends. So one of the first things I noticed on this motorcycle coming back, because we do have a couple of 96-inch dynos at Bird's. This is a 96-inch Softail. I said, man, I was talking to Josh. I said, man, this thing feels like it has a lot less power than the dyno. He said, yeah, it's the V motor. Because it has a counterbalancer, it's got less power because of it. Sure enough, I mentioned the same thing to my tech. He said, yeah, the counterbalancer. So I had no idea. I'm always open to learning new things. I hope I never stop. Like I've always said, man, I don't claim to know anything at all about motorcycles. So the little bit that I do know is the stuff I picked up from other people over time. I think that's how we all learn things.
Okay, so unintentionally, it ended up, my tech actually showed up late that day. This is a totally different day. Showed up late that day, got behind on work, had some personal things to take care of. Totally get that. I'm still going to get the bike into him at some point soon, so that way we can get a report on, what he thinks this thing needs. Well, one thing I do know for sure, my buddy told me, but you see the right blinker works, right? The left blinker does not. The indicator doesn't come on, neither turn signal comes on. So I'm going to have to tear that switch housing apart and see if it's just the switch. But honestly, though, it might not just be the switch. I'm hoping that's all it is the switch. But you got all these wires, from here all the way down into the headlight housing. It could be anywhere along that whole stretch. So hopefully it's just a switch. If I'm really lucky, I get in there and there's just a loose wire on the switch and I can just resolder it. But I can't imagine replacing a switch is... I better not say that, though. You guys know how maintenance with Uncle Bogator goes. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. We're going to end not in front of the computer. We're going to end right here in front of the motorcycle instead. Stay tuned, though. Big news coming up on this thing. I think a lot of you guys are going to figure that out. But anyway, thanks for coming along on this video and all videos. And until next time, we'll see you later.
Wow. Bye.